Hey,
everybody!
Hi guys!
Oh my gosh.
Hello!
Oh man,
Hey,
what a
everybody.
chaotic intro.
Welcome in. So, we're normally really professional about this, but with Sean, we gave him no heads up. We we're talking business the entire time. There was no preparation, so we're gonna kill it today because we're the best. But God,
Yeah.
guys, we're interviewing my boyfriend.
We are doing that.
Where is he?
You guys get like an inside scoop of what meetings are like where they start hitting on each other and I'm here.
No. Oh, hey, Parker.
Before we flirt for an hour straight on a broadcast channel, we're going to do announcements, right? The first one being that we in the Welcome like to support really good, important causes. And one of those good, important causes that we are promoting this week is the Mama Mindy Support Fund. This is in correlation with our one-shot yesterday with Youth Pastor Ryan, which was a ton of fun, DM'd by Sean. It was phenomenal. It was so good, and Ryan was amazing and is a delight. So we are supporting. Mama Minnie did come down with COVID, which caused some medical complications that require some special funding. So if you click on that big donate button right now, you're going to go to a GoFundMe and you can donate to helping out Mama Mindy. It really means a lot to us. Mama Mindy particularly was crucial in organizing yesterday's one-shot. She's a fantastic person, very wonderful. John worked a lot with her, so please consider going over there and taking a look at it. Thank you to all our amazing partners, Soundtail, Arcane Anthems. We were playing our Arcane Anthem theme today because it's 3 people from Conundrum Thumb.
I requested it.
We threw it up there.
Yeah.
Sean demanded it more than requested. But sorry, don't yell at me. But so yes, we really appreciate Soundtail and Arcane Anthems. They're fantastic. They're so good, magnificent. Other than that, I think they're all Parker announcements.
Yay! Announcements.
Oh yeah, I don't have to do any announcements.
I'm here with your schedule. So, just so you guys know, the schedule is up on Instagram. Make sure to follow all of our social media accounts. The Instagram and Twitter are very active, as well as our YouTube, where Sean gets videos up 3 days after they air. So go catch up on all your favorite things. So our stream schedule for this week is Rolling Tides, as usual, 7 p.m. on Friday, Conundrum Company, 6 p.m. on Saturday, and then this Sunday, we have our newest session of Roundtable. I'm really, really excited. I'm pretty sure they're playing the game with the little mice, and it reminds me of The Secret of Nim. So I'm really excited about that. That's 7 p.m. on Sunday, and then Friday, the next week, we have Friday, Rolling Tides, same time, same place. Saturday, Conundrum Company, same time, same place. And then the 30th, we will have Cosplay Ground, our newest Cosplay Ground, and Sarah is DMing that one. So I am super excited. Coffee is doing so many DMing things for us in the next 2 weeks. But that is our schedule. I'm here to remind you that we have a merch store. You guys can go in the About section and click that wonderful, wonderful merch thing. This happens every time, Josh.
I use it all the time, so I have to look.
I'm waiting to get through my journal right now, and then I'm going to switch all my Conundrum Company notes over to this one.
Sean's
yes,
notes christened it yesterday for his one shot.
Oh, there you go.
You can burn a little trash fire.
So, merch store, social medias, and our schedule. There's also a schedule in our About section. So if you guys have any questions about what's coming, you can check that out. It's a Google Calendar deal. That should be all of our announcements, I believe. Oh, we have a sub Discord. Somebody will throw that command in the chat for me. If you are subscribed to this channel, you can join our fan sub Discord, which is amazing. It's our patron server, and it has tons of really cool people that hang out in there. If you're learning the game or super experienced with the game, you just go check it out. Also, which I just added a familiars chat, which is just for us to post pictures of pets. So that's where you'll find me all day. All right.
Azure is the fastest mod in the West. I tried to get the Discord command up there. It beat me to a mile.
I mean this in the nicest way possible. I saw Pins and Azure in there. It was just like, one of them's going to do this before I finish saying what I'm saying.
Sentence, yes.
Sometimes I have it preloaded and he still beats me to the punch.
All right, so that is the end of our announcements.
I have one more announcement. Did you know that myself and TikTok famous MrShickadance do a podcast together?
Tell me I stole someone's name?
This Mr. Shickadance right here, this Sean, this man, we do a podcast called Lore Dump, and the 4th episode just dropped today on Spotify, iTunes, RSS.com, all those other places.
Yeah, we are now on iTunes. We have that approved this week. So if you have an iPhone, go check that out.
Heck yes. Okay. So the way
Also,
this show
leave
goes,
us
I know
review.
you're not new to the Welcome In.
Me,
so
I've never-
For
explain
sure,
how
yeah.
we do this, Sean. What we do
What's
is
this
the
place?
first thing
Like
I
a
ask
fast food
is
restaurant?
I always ask, what's your mini painting experience, and what mini are you painting next?
I can actually show you all of my mini painting experience on the shelf behind me.
Oh.
There we go. So,
Easy act.
I brought the Critical Role thing. I back to their Kickstarter for the minis. So I got Dodie. I painted that. I don't know. Hang on. How do you guys do this, right? You go.
It doesn't
Yeah.
work very well.
It never works.
It's doing okay.
Good.
Well, it's because I'm so white. The camera just is like, oh, that's a wall.
Hey, Sean. Yeah, I feel that.
Yeah. This is Trinket.
Oh.
The base is curved because I used Walmart paints, I believe, and a primer that was stayed out in the sun too long. And then this one is my pride and joy.
This one's so good. I
Oh,
love
it's
this
so good.
Took so long, but it's so worth it. Clockwork Dragon.
So what you're telling us is you have a ton of painting experience and are very good.
No, I did those 3 in the span of a week, and then I was like, that's about right. And then I started painting when I'm painting today, which is this thing, this demon. I got about halfway done, and I was like, I'm gonna go do something else for a while. And then months went by, so I'm picking back up on it today.
He's got a lot of depth to him. I like the musculature.
It's good. Yeah. It's called Flesh Tear Red from Citadel Paints.
Hey, Citadel.
I do like Citadel paints.
Very good.
We're
It's
fans.
very good.
Parker, what do you paint?
I am painting a dragon that I'm gonna make look like the dragon that was released on Lore Dump today, guys. Go check out that
Oh.
episode. It was real good.
Hell
But
yeah.
look, it's even in multiple pieces. Baby's stepping up her game.
You pro.
That's
So,
awesome. I wish I had multiple pieces.
so I'll be painting this wing probably for the majority.
That's so good. I am painting this pirate woman that was selected from my live on TikTok, and I'm going to attempt to paint it like my wonderful wife, the Auburn Alchemist. So I'm
Good
going to make
choice.
a redheaded pirate lady, badass, ass kicker lady. So that's my contribution. But let's move into the questions.
Oh no.
So, just for anybody that is new to the show, we have a set number of questions that we ask Sean, and then about 30 minutes in, we get to ask you guys to ask questions. So I will tell you guys when we get to that point in the program so you guys can drop questions there, and we ask that you highlight whenever possible because it's easier for us to see. So, with that lovely disclaimer, Sean,
Oh.
how'd you get into D&D?
How'd I get into D&D? Well, the same way most people get into D&D, and that would be Critical Role. Actually, it's a little bit worse than that. It is Rooster Teeth. I don't know if anyone knows of them.
Yeah.
They used to produce a show called Heroes and Halfwits, and that's the first thing I saw that was D&D related. But on a panel for that show, they mentioned Critical Role, and I was like, "What's this? What's this silly thing that's probably not as good as the show I'm into?" I watched one episode, and then it was 7 days later, and I had watched 60 episodes.
Good
And I was
God.
like, "This is all right. I think I can get into this."
This is okay.
I like this one. So that's where I started. And then I think it was like after I'd already caught up on that show, I had bought all the books while I was watching it and read through all of them while watching it. There's a lot of one thing going on in that house for a while. And then I had this weird idea for a world to start building. It was like, what if one continent with a giant city on it ripped apart and was just those hyper-focused parts of that world on each one of those continents? Yeah, it was a bad world design because it was the first world design, but that made me DM my first game on that world. So I started off as a DM. That's what I'm trying to say by rambling. Sorry.
Perfect.
You're killing it.
Thank you, thank you.
So
You're doing it.
you really like hit the ground running with DMing, like out of the gate.
Well, I shouldn't say I started playing as a DM because I did have a very short-lived, very I'm going to say poorly run game that I played before I became the DM for my games. But I did get a little bit of playing experience, saw what other people were like as DMs and players, and was like, oh no, I don't like this at all. So I decided to run my own game. And that was actually really fun. I obviously was nervous, but there's nothing to be afraid about for DMing. Because literally every mistake I made, I just lied and it was fixed. So there you go. If you know how to lie.
Advice.
Hey, here's the life advice for anyone in the audience. If you can lie and get yourself out of trouble, you should try and DM. Because then you'd probably be really good at it.
Oh,
That's my
liar's game. Got it.
It's, that is a Highlight Heroes supported message. Lie your way out of all your problems.
Oh no! Oh no!
Sorry.
Huge payout on this already. So, tell me, Sean, I definitely don't know the answer to this question. Tell me, what's your favorite class to play and why?
My favorite class to play probably the Ranger. I just think they're so
Shut the fuck up,
versatile.
Sean.
So versatile. So many uses to them. All the
Shut
classes.
up!
I'm kidding.
We'll get to that question later.
Yeah, you need to hold on to that answer, buddy.
Oh, I mean, my favorite class is obviously Bards because the actually honest answer is they have so much versatility and they have a very specific support mechanic that no other class has, and I very, very much like the inspiration mechanic. And I think the subclasses do a really good job of using them in different ways. So that would be my answer. And if
Good answer.
ever you make a Bard's fuck joke in front of me, I will kick you in the shins and run away. Because I think that is incredibly... I think that joke sucks. Gonna be honest.
Hashtag not all bards.
Yeah.
The first game I played with Sean, like as a DM, I was a very asexual dwarf bard for a while. It was pretty good.
Oh yeah. No, you were a gray fox bard. That's completely different than a sexual bard.
Yeah, he was like a dad bard.
You had
Go
sex
figure.
appeal, but you weren't like, I'm gonna fuck everything that walks because I'm a man whore.
That's right. Oh, good times.
Yeah.
Fulgen.
I miss Fulgen. He was a good guy.
Right, Parker.
Oh. I was painting.
I feel the same way.
What's your favorite race to play?
I don't know what this says about me as a person, but Tabaxis. Tabaxis and Goblins. Actually, Goblins are probably more favorite for me. But I think Tabaxis are the best race, in my opinion. Not to sound really bad, and like I have bad political views, but I think Tabaxis are the best race.
So, why is that?
You want me to go mechanically into it?
I mean, I'm just curious as to your reasoning.
Okay,
Tabaxi is the
so
one you hear really often.
It's true.
racial proficiency in stealth and perception, a native climb speed, the ability to double your speed as a free action on your turn that resets when you don't move for one round. I think those are all really powerful, in addition to the fact that you get charisma and dexterity boosts, which are always good stats. I think just you can never go wrong with picking a Tabaxi unless you go strength-based.
And what about goblins?
They're just so cool. They're gross little trash Danny DeVitos, and I love them.
That's not surprising.
The audience probably doesn't know this at all, but my most played character ever is a level 20 Goblin Bard, and since I played that character, every Goblin I play has been related to him in some way, which has been a lot of fun. And in fact, Josh got in on that fun a little bit in one of our home games.
Yep. I have a character related to the iconic Sean character that is a legend among our group of friends.
It was pretty fun.
God, Skagback. Yes.
Yeah, the Skagback clan.
That whole clan. Yeah, they are fantastic. They really are.
I really had a lot of fun with that.
We have a request for Josh to speak in the goblin voice. You're welcome.
Oh, thanks, sir.
Oh,
Yeah.
this is not an interview of me. This is an interview of Sean. I will do it if Sean does Papa Skagback. Will you do my dad if I do Cack Skagback?
You want me to do Daxon?
Yeah, do Daxon.
I can do a little Daxon. It's just a really weird Danny DeVito.
Papa!
I birthed you from my mind vagina.
Oh!
Get out there and fuck some stuff up.
Okay, Papa, I'm gonna go kill somebody! Bye!
That's what we have at our home game,
This is how we play offline.
which I feel bad about sharing that with the world.
Yeah, it's terrible. Sorry, we're not great.
This is now in syndication on YouTube.
Enjoyed it.
Good job,
In 3
dude.
days.
Okay, so then, so what's the class you want to play next? Have you played every class?
Well, you're missing out on something huge.
What's that?
It's your classic thing. You do every episode. I'm a
Oh
huge
my
fan of
God,
Well,
Sean! Sean,
I was
I
waiting to
need
be
you. I
immortalized.
need you to pull through. It's twice I've had to be reminded of this because I'm a hot mess. You're gonna pull through for me on this one, right? You're gonna have my back.
Well, because I fully support your ideals and all of your ventures in life.
Everything. Thank you. This is.
I also agree with you.
I'm a lucky.
All right,
man.
boys.
Sean,
All right,
I'm
boys.
lucky.
All right.
I
Parker.
need you to look directly into the camera.
Oh.
Right into the camera.
Okay.
And I need you to just tell the fine people of the tweet audience that dwarves are, in fact, the best race in Dungeons and Dragons.
I, Sean, last name obscured,
Redacted.
think that dwarves are the best race.
It's probably the best version of that you've ever gotten.
Things I do for you.
I knew I could trust him.
I don't hate dwarves. You are correct in your belief that dwarves are amazing. They aren't the best race. But I will give you that soundbite to use as you wish.
Thank you. It's coming.
It'll be a compilation video.
Yeah, it's just going to be everybody.
It's going to be a line of I, so-and-so, I, so-and-so. Just goes down the line.
the whole way down. Okay, now we can go on to this very important, crucial question. What's the class you want to try next?
Paladin. I haven't gotten to play a paladin in the campaign for more than like a few sessions,
Yeah.
and I was kind of like a every now and then character in that campaign.
Mhm.
I think they're just so fun.
They're very powerful.
They're very powerful, but they can also be very like flavorful. If you, I don't know. I just have a lot of fun ideas for what a paladin could be, because I hate that they're always goody two shoes in most campaigns. They're always like, "This is the law. The law is this way, and I must be this way because that is the law."
I just realized that Sean's gonna hate my character in Cosplay Ground.
Oh,
Goody two shoes.
which cause playground? The next one coming up. That
The
people
next one,
watch
yeah.
on such
Yeah.
and such a date.
The next one on the 30th. Yeah.
Oh,
Play.
well,
Excellent.
you heard it here,
promo,
folks.
guys. We're kidding.
Paladin.
We're doing it.
Hey.
We're doing it.
I can't not be on the clock.
Is there a specific subclass
Of paladin?
that you'd like to try?
I really like the Oath of Redemption.
Ooh, it's a good
I
one.
like how they can tank from a distance with like that ability to absorb damage that others take. I think that's really cool.
That's very good.
And I like the idea of a paladin who has to redeem himself for something. That's probably where I'm going with my, if I ever get to play paladin. That's probably where I'd go.
Interesting.
Yeah.
No one's killed an Oath of Redemption Paladin permanently.
All right, well,
Yeah.
that's
Well,
a weird dark cloud to bring over my
Yeah,
happy
just putting that out there for everybody.
all right. So Sean,
Wait, this is blood red. What's up?
what race do you want to play next?
I don't know. Oh, I always want to find a place for a GIF. I think they're fundamentally underrepresented in the game, and I want to find a place to bring some sort of GIF into a game sometime. I don't think it'll be a paladin, but maybe. Actually, that'd be fun.
You just
Right there.
heard it here. Next character, Gith Paladin, 10 out of 10.
I mean, yeah, I might be doing that later tonight.
A whole problem.
That's my problem. I think of two things, put them together. I'm like, we can make that work.
You could. That's the
Yes.
character making. Oh man,
Yeah.
the workshopping.
That's
That's cool. I can get that. I've never played a game with a Gith. In fact,
You've never played a game with a GIF. Exactly. Because no one wants to play a GIF. I don't know why.
okay. Well, what's your least favorite class to play? I feel like you've answered this question once, but
If you'd
let's
like
get
me to
into the
mute
specifics.
myself,
There's a
Yeah,
tie.
you might need
last
to mute
place in my
yourself.
mind.
I'll just deafen.
Don't worry, there's a tie.
Okay.
It's sorcerers and rangers at the same time.
What about a multi-class sorcerer ranger?
I would leave the game forever.
Just never play D&D again?
Yeah. Well, I'd leave that party at least.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah. I don't know. They did rangers dirty, and they've tried 3 times to fix it, and they haven't settled on any of those being good enough, because they're not. I think rangers should be better than that. Let me put it that way. I don't like rangers not because the concept isn't good, but because D&D hasn't supported them in the correct way, I think.
And that's valid. Mechanically, be a problem.
It sucks to have a subclass of rogue be a better ranger than the ranger. And that's why I think they're not going to be able to fix it, because the perfect fix already exists in another class.
It's a rogue.
Yeah. It's weird. It's really weird.
What about sorcerers? What drives you crazy about them?
I'm not a huge fan of how they took a mechanic that all spellcasters had from previous editions and made it its own class.
Meta magic?
Yes. And they have less spells prepared. The same number of spell slots, but they have less versatility than wizards. So I would just be a wizard if I was ever going to play one of those two. I mean, unless there was some specific character aspect where I wanted to have him from birth be able to just do magic. But that's really the only reason.
I feel like sorcerers a lot more in Pathfinder. Like, they seem far more unique.
Also, for a newer player in Pathfinder, they don't have to prepare specific level of spells.
Mm-hmm.
They're a spontaneous caster.
Yeah.
And no one knows what I'm talking about. Or
I
at
mean,
least
it's
not a
good.
lot of people, I assume.
Yeah. Pathfinder's fun. It's worth a look, guys.
Pathfinder is worth your time. Go look it up.
Right. Parker.
Oh, sorry.
You can undeafen yourself now.
Right. No, it's okay. I've learned to tune out. No, I'm kidding. I heard it, and I agree. Least favorite race to play? I know this answer.
Do you?
I think I do. I at least know a race you have a problem with.
Is it elves?
No. I guess I was
Okay.
wrong.
What was your guess?
You really, really hate that gnomes and halflings aren't the same thing.
That's true.
Here's the thing. I don't hate that they're not the same thing. I know that most people don't like that they're not the same thing.
Oh, I thought it was you that always said that.
No, I said that on the podcast, and you are correct. I put them in the same category as gnomelings because they don't need to be different things. But I don't like elves because they're boring in my mind. Everyone plays elves or half elves, and it's like, okay, cool. You don't want to have to sleep for more than 4 hours a night. I get it.
Neither
But
do I.
Yeah, there's nothing else about elves that stand out to me as interesting.
Be a Parker. Never sleep.
I also
Yeah.
don't like the variant human.
You don't like the variant human.
No, but that's because people abuse them for the feet.
That is true.
That's just me.
I mean, I've always kind of felt the exact same way about elves. Just, I don't mind them in games or along with me. I would never like really lean into playing one.
Yeah, that's more specifically what I mean. I don't care if anyone wants to play an elf. More power to you. I would never make a character an elf because it just seems like a bad fit for most of my characters. That's me. We're all different.
Beauty of D&D, right?
Yeah.
So, what got you into content creation. Like you are kind of like the king of D&D comedy TikToks.
No,
you're very
I am
good.
most
You're very
certainly
good.
not.
What
You stop that
what
right
put
now.
you there? I'm gonna compliment that. You have to deal with it.
Yep.
I
Welcome to the show.
Yeah, congratulations.
was
You're on.
house sitting for my parents, and I was very, very bored.
You were house sitting for you.
I'm not kidding. That is the
Was that
full
really
story.
it?
Yeah, I was very bored. I had my phone. So I saw a TikTok on Twitter, and I was like, "Oh, is that the new Vine? Let me go check it out." And then 3 days later, I was like making content. There's one video that did really well. It was me talking about how to make like a very powerful bear druid tank, but I themed it under "You can be an unkillable bear," and people seem to like that.
You do.
Nice.
You take unique concepts and like frame them in really fun ways for people to like think of them.
Well, that's what I did originally. Then I eventually just started pretending to be a villain and being very incompetent, and that was more fun for me.
Also hilarious.
Thank you.
True.
And now you're here working on the welcome in all the
The
time.
real
doing the
answer is I created content just so I can meet the governor. That's why
Yeah.
I did it. It's a secret. Don't tell nobody.
That's not true.
Oh, he's here.
Don't stop lying to people. Oh my god.
No.
All right,
but I
quiet,
was so
and
happy that-
chat, get ready to send us some questions because we know Sean
Chat.
so well. We blew right through all these questions.
Oh, does this show usually go an hour and a half?
An hour.
Oh,
An hour.
okay.
So, our last question is, what's your biggest hobby outside of D&D?
Content creation. Oh, outside of Dean, I don't really have a lot to do outside of this channel.
Oh, wow.
Let me see. I play video
And
games.
then I also agree with it.
I play video games, talk to you guys, upload stuff to YouTube, to
For the channel?
the RSS feed. Yeah,
Okay.
a lot of my free time is this channel, and I recently watched Psych again. It's a good
Such
show.
good show.
If you have Amazon, you can go watch it for free. Check it out. Second movie just came out. Anyways,
Psych is a good.
Psych is a good fucking show.
Mm-hmm.
Should have gotten more time.
That's cool. I mean, this is. It is funny because that genuinely like we don't do much outside of this channel, and when we do, it's like the three of us
Parker.
playing Dungeons and Dragons.
I don't!
You
Well, yes,
stream.
you do. Well, you
do
stream.
Patreon stuff.
You have your.
Cosplay. Don't say you do nothing outside of this channel.
I just do a lot. It's like 75% this, 25% my own stuff.
Exactly.
Just don't sleep.
My own
Yeah,
stuff is D&D.
not either.
That's why it's not an answer to the question.
Yeah, that's fair. All right, we're on to audience questions.
Hey, audience, what's up?
Azure asked, "What has been an unforgettable moment for you in game?"
Ooh, that's tough. 'Cause I'm in both games.
Got a lot of.
Yeah,
In-
you.
So that means on stream.
I think it could be any moment.
Yeah, it could be any.
Delegated.
I'm trying to think. What was like the best moment? My favorite part was when Rigby teleported to the third floor.
That was
I
very.
felt I've never felt better about a move in D&D in my entire life. I felt like that was really that was really fun. Because I didn't die.
You did.
And then I ended up surviving that fight, which is something I didn't expect.
You're still alive.
Hey,
You did it.
look at me now.
Let's see.
Conundrum Company wise, getting thrown by the giant.
Yep,
That is my
That will be a hard one to top going forward.
it's fair.
I will
Getting it
top
thrown
it,
by other things.
but it will be hard.
Yeah, I'm not surprised that you're going to stop that.
Yeah, I don't doubt it in the least.
Nope.
Um,
Never surprised by Morton. Never cease to be surprised by Morton.
That's my favorite.
let's see where we do. There's
Hey.
things highlighted that aren't questions.
What's your favorite TikTok you ever made? That was Martin.
Oh, Martin. I know Martin's answer to this question. He loves it every time I pretend to be Caleb Widow guest.
Very good, Caleb.
I'm not, and that's the point of the joke.
Can you do it? Can we have a little for the audience? Can we have a
I
little?
don't think the copyright issues will work out because it's very accurate to the original.
Let's
Scarily.
we'll fix it in post. Just go
I mean,
ahead.
I'm basically walking Liam. Just with I found all of his lost weight from over the years.
Why don't you
Like,
just we'll
Oh
fix
my
it in
God.
post, John.
Inside.
Don't worry about it. Just go ahead. For the
all right,
audience.
hold on. I am Caleb Wittogest. I turn into Big Monkey. That is, I think Martin just shit his pants.
Jesus.
That is my incredibly unsuccessful audition for Matt Mercer to put me as backup for Liam O'Brien.
Guys, Jauna's backup 2020.
So,
Make sure
maybe
that
make it
you
a clip.
tweet that at
Maybe send it to Matt Mercer.
Yeah.
He puts me on the show.
that.
I throw a little bit of money your way. Bada bing, bada boom.
Oh my goodness.
billionaires.
Hey.
I want this question answered, so I'm gonna ask it.
Oh God, this is unfair.
How did you meet Josh, and how have you started your beautiful relationship?
Who asked
Sarah?
that?
It's Jay. JJ.
Aw.
So Josh actually reached out to me to be in a one-shot he was running on his personal channel way back in the day, like Phil of the Future.
Jesus.
I love that show.
Phil of the future.
Way back in the day. He was running a one-shot based on the Godzuki filters. Those were really fun. We all get to be our randomly generated characters. And then after that, he asked me to be part of Saltmarsh because he thought I was funny, I guess, which is cute. Thanks, Josh. Then from there, we just started talking about, because Josh didn't feel comfortable with this being his personal channel, so we slowly over time transitioned it into Welcome In. But it all started way back when. Actually, there was a point before that I'd like to mention that Josh did.
Oh yeah.
You used my Caleb audio.
Oh my God. I'll never hear the end of this, will I, Sean?
Never. I will let you live it down.
I used his Caleb audio as Caleb, and did I not tag you? Is that why? Was that?
I think you did tag me.
Yeah.
And not because it was outrage, but because like literally that was the first time I ever like saw you, and I was like, oh, that's a really good Caleb. Hold on, wait a minute. And I called you, and then I think we started talking after that about the one shot.
That sounds right. It was a really good Caleb audio. I couldn't not do
It was a
it.
really good Caleb cosplay.
Oh, you're so sweet.
All of these are true.
My girlfriend's watching, so
By the way, I'm still here.
Hey, Parker, what's up, buddy?
What's your favorite NPC or character voice you've done or thought about doing?
my favorite voice.
Your favorite NPC character
This
voice.
is a big question.
That's a big
Yeah.
question. I'm big on voices because that's where all my NPCs and characters start. God, that's tough. I think they're all unique. There's one I started doing for another stream I'm on, the Knights of the Dirty Table. A character named Gribbles. He is a goblin warlock who is constantly wet because he made a pact with the deep, the lurker of the deep. He is always a little moist boy. Sounds a little bit like this, and that's really fun to just sort of come up with chaotic situations to throw the DM for that game off.
Where can we watch you and the DM for that game?
The Dirty Table Knights,
Yeah.
TV./The Dirty Table Knights. I believe they're in chat right now.
Yep,
They're good folk.
they are.
Yeah, they're good people over there. And they just started their campaign. But that is a fun character.
I really like their DM.
Yeah, me
The
too.
DM's pretty good.
DM is fun.
There's
Before she kills us, let's go.
Go on, yes.
All right. We have another one about what's your favorite thing about having Josh as your husband.
Okay, let's just skip all of the rest of those
So,
I don't know. I
for the
wanna
rest
hear an
of the
answer.
stream.
do you have a favorite Nat 20 moment or Nat 1
Ooh,
moment?
good question.
Nat 20 or Nat 1?
That is just a singing geek that asked that.
Let me see. Natural 20 moment. I actually do have one that just popped up recently. It happened last night on the stream. So if you want spoilers for that, stay tuned. If not, just block your ears for the next couple of seconds. Sarah's coffee got a natural 20 on my dragon with
that
a
was
ray of
good.
sickness, and that did over 100 points of damage. That was the most damage I think I've ever seen a crit do in one of my games.
It's very good.
Yeah. I don't necessarily remember my crits or natural ones, but I do enjoy seeing other people get them in my games because, gosh dang it, they just look so happy.
Aw, that's real wholesome.
Soft.
There's a part where I realized I could also take it away, and I was like, nah, it's too good. The moment's too good. I also fucked up, so I'm not going to do that. Thank you.
Azure asked, is there a system outside of D&D that you particularly enjoy other than Pathfinder? If not, is there a system you would like to try out in the future?
There is a system I would like to try out. It is called Gumshoe. It is a very detective-heavy role-playing type game. I've had this campaign idea in the back of my mind for years now, where it's just you play a character in D&D, but you are like part of a detective agency in a city, and instead of going out of the city and going on like adventures, you just try and solve crimes. I don't know why that idea has been humming around my mind for years, but
It's a cool
is.
idea.
It's a good idea, yeah.
Well, the city that you played in, Josh, for my home game,
Yeah.
that city was built to run that campaign.
I love that city so much.
It's
got so much character.
That's why, because it has to maintain an entire campaign. But
it was massive. God, it was big.
It was a big city. But that specifically is an idea I've always wanted to use, and Gumshoe seems like a perfect system for it. Aside from that, I've always wanted to try City of Mist, which is a superhero detective game, which also looks really badass. And I played Monster of the Week. I played Blades in the Dark. That was really fun.
That one was really fun.
It's awesome.
Martin asked, did you fucking go?
Did you fucking ghost?
I just love watching everybody's realization in that clip. Just the...
Yeah.
That line is just iconic.
Yeah. We should, if we ever make a trailer, that needs to go in the trailer.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
The welcome did you fuck a ghost?
What is your biggest D&D pet peeve? Was
biggest D&D pet peeve? Oh, God, that's a good question. Okay, so this isn't going to be about any player in specific, but advantage. Constantly gaining advantage, and, like, trying to break the rules to get advantage, I have a particular interest with. Specifically, like flanking. Flanking for a party of adventurers breaks the game completely. I don't think you should allow flanking in your game, and if you do, you should restrict it at least a little bit. I also don't like when people can just help out on a check, because that doesn't make any sense. If someone's doing an investigation check, but they have the stupidest person in their party helping out, what help are they going to be? So usually I only let people who are proficient in something aid and give advantage on a roll. Or a while ago I tried to give like a different amount of dice you could do depending on what your modifier was. That didn't work out so well. So I just limit it to like only if you're proficient can you actually assist someone in a roll.
That's fair.
Yeah. Because I think that just breaks the game because you always have advantage on every roll then.
A slight reminder to chat. It is easier to see your questions if you highlight them for me. Also, sorry guys, I am skipping the ship questions for the respect of the two boys on this chat.
Yes.
When are we seeing the Morton cosplay? I'm just that one's just a question that I enjoy that somebody asked for me.
That's biased as well.
That one's Volta-Villains. Yeah, it's super weird. We do. Yeah, it's fine.
Okay. I don't have an answer for that question. I don't want to get into cosplay. I don't have the time or money.
Fair. What if
we will see about the Halloween episode.
Thank you. That's all I needed.
It's the only chance you're gonna have in hell that I dress up like Morton.
We have a question on what we're painting, so if we could just let everybody know.
Good.
This is just a wing. I have a dragon.
Oh, you got a lot more of him done.
Yeah, I just have to paint him red. This is probably gonna run out of paint.
Cat is coming along.
Yeah.
The Auburn Buccaneer.
The Auburn Buccaneer.
Auburn swashbuckler. Do you prefer being a player or a DM, Sean?
I don't like that question.
Oh no.
I personally prefer. I don't prefer either. I enjoy both.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think one is better than the other. It depends on the party you have. I'm going to say that. Depending on who I'm playing with, I enjoy being a DM more or less than a player. It's a bad answer to that question. I apologize.
No, it's a true answer. It's
valid,
but
I enjoy them both equally because DMing is so rewarding and fulfilling. But I also like being a player and just being able to turn my brain off and run into things.
Fair. Favorite and least favorite spells?
Ooh, that's tough. Least favorite spells? I have an answer, but I like the spell for least favorite spells.
Mm-hmm.
I think Otto's Irresistible Dance is too strong because it doesn't have a saving throw. It happens and it takes their next action away to make the save, which they might fail. I have used it to great effect to ruin the final encounter of Dungeon of the Mad Mage, for anyone who knows that. That's where that goblin we talked about earlier came in. Speaking of him, my favorite spell is True Polymorph. That is such a good spell. I love the effect that you can turn someone into a shoe, and then they are just a shoe forever.
Lord.
I think that's great.
You're asking the master of spell manipulation which his favorite spells are, by the way.
There is canonically a way to cast Wish every day without any ramifications. And if you want to know, just jump into our Patreon server and I'll tell you. Or our patron server. I keep saying Patreon.
It's easy to do that.
Potato Patreon.
Potato pay for service.
Perfect. Question: do any of your characters have phobias, and how do you handle them in game?
Rigby has a fear of the open ocean because I have a fear of the open ocean. I don't go near the ocean. Morton, I don't think is smart enough to know what he fears. So he just lives life ignorantly. And Rigby also has a fear of failure, which has come up a few times so far in that campaign.
It's a very popular theme.
It's a very active theme, I think, in Rolling Tides, where we are just like, oh, fuck. This doesn't go well at all.
We are screw-ups. Whoopsies.
We didn't screw. Fuck. So that he has to deal with constantly. He's not dealing with it super well. Maybe he's a little bit sassy to people to, hide his own frustrations with himself. But I enjoy being sassy as well, so you'll never know when it's because I'm afraid or because I'm just being sassy. Shout out to Josh's cat.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Aw. She's not visiting, oddly enough.
What the
That's
fuck?
weird.
I know.
She doesn't love us anymore.
She probably only comes up here and Cat's watching downstairs or something, and she knows. She knows. Get all her Sean needs.
Yeah,
Yeah. That's what I'm going with. That's my narrative that I'm constructing.
I appreciate it.
Okay, you're welcome.
Sean, what is your biggest bucket list D&D campaign or idea you really want to play? That was Martin.
Ooh.
There are actually two. There's the one I mentioned before with the detectives in this magic city, which takes a lot of balancing with magic, but there are ways to do it. So I definitely want to run that campaign someday. There's also a campaign I want to run where you start at level 20 and you literally are going on a hell clear. Like you basically just stick yourself right in the middle of the blood war and take on both sides.
Interesting.
That's one of the campaigns I've had on my mind for a very long time.
And you would want to run that or play that?
I want to run it.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Sarah asked, what is your favorite campaign you've either run or played in?
My favorite campaign I've ever run or played in. Is this Sarah's coffee or Sarah?
Sarah. Your Sarah.
Definitely Fandelver then. She knows that campaign very well. That is where Josh's cack boy comes from. It's a very fun, just pure fun campaign. I also am really enjoying Saltmarsh, Rolling Tides. Campaigns I've run? Probably the one I'm continuously been trying to run through COVID. It's definitely my longest running campaign. They started at level, I want to say 3, and they just hit 8. But it's not as frequent as our streams here, so that's actually a little more impressive. Time-wise. But yeah, they're a tremendous group of people. I met them at my local gaming store, actually. So don't ever say you can't meet cool people at your local gaming store. We went there we all went there for the same reason, to find adult friends. And this was probably a year before COVID. So we played games in person, met at each other's apartments and stuff. And yeah, we're still trying to make this whole thing work during this worst ever event in life.
True that.
Done with it.
Because God, COVID sucks.
Ooh,
Can we get some F's in chat for COVID?
Yeah, F COVID.
Let's see. Is there a monster you want to play as?
Yes. I've said this, I think, multiple times, but I've always wanted to play as an adult Oblex. They are the most interesting creature in Dungeons & Dragons, or an elder Oblex.
One of my favorite Sean NPCs is...
That is true.
Tell us about it, please.
I basically, I created an Oblex. For those of you who don't know what an Oblex is, it's essentially a gelatinous cube, but with sentience and the ability to eat people and then make copies of them that come off of its body and are attached by this cord. So it's essentially a big jelly orb of floating skulls, and I made one a bartender in my world. Essentially, it works at a bar, and it is the entire staff is this collection of skulls that live inside this jelly orb. Its name is Mal, and it's my favorite thing I've ever made.
It's so good. You you get
really
served drinks by the adventures that Mal has consumed, and it's amazing.
It's really fun. Very proud of that guy in that bar. But yeah, that's the creature I'd like to play as.
Let's see. If you could choose a superpower, what would it be and why?
Superpower?
Yep.
Flight, I guess, because I hate driving. Traffic sucks.
I love that you would pick a superpower because you hate traffic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's great.
Yeah, I was gonna say telekinesis, but that's just to be able to move cars off the road. So I think me getting off the road altogether would be safer for everybody involved.
Oh my goodness. Is there a content creator you haven't collaborated with yet that you would like to?
Yeah, I haven't been on TikTok that much recently, I have to admit. Most of my collaborations actually happen through this channel. So, let me think. I was going to mention we should get Ben does D&D, not Gaming Benjamin. We should get him back on the channel because I know he was in the one shot where he came in a little late. We should get him in like a full-fledged one shot because he seems like a dope kid.
Oh yeah, that'd be fun.
Yeah. I also love how he's able to bridge between D&D content and Star Wars content, and still keep like strong in both.
That is very difficult.
That's dedication, I will say, fully.
Let's see.
It is very, very, very good of him to be able to do that because I could not do that.
Okay, so what are some homebrew rules you have used or made that you think people need to know about?
Well, the one Josh is using now, which I appreciate, is that potions are a bonus action to consume instead of a full action. I think that is very important. I'm a bad person to ask about homebrew rules because I'm always in favor of the party having more fun than the encounter being fully balanced to both sides of the equation. I think that if you want to do a bonus action spell twice on your turn, I'm fully okay with that. Or not like a bonus action spell twice. Sorry, I mean like if you want to do two things that are bonus actions in lieu of your actual action, I'm fine with that.
So like use a bonus action during your action.
Yeah, like if for whatever reason you can cast Healing Word and you're a rogue, you can dash then Healing Word. That's fine with me. I think that's fine. Because doing something that's a side action, you should be able to do two of those if you don't do any action. That just doesn't make any sense. Let's see. I don't have a lot of homebrew rules that I just have off the top of my head. I usually make up whatever rules I need to on the spot. Honestly. If something is or isn't working correctly, I just adjust it at the time. I don't have a lot of set homebrew rules. One of my biggest and most important homebrew rules, though, is if you ever want something to be different, tell me. Then we can talk about it. Otherwise, you don't get to change it at all. So.
Do you think a +2 on attack for flanking is a better solution than advantage?
The +2 is better, and it keeps that ability for them to like plan around flanking. So it gives it some sort of tactical benefit. But at the same time, you're not going to flank something that is gargantuan or even really huge. I usually stick to flanking only happens against larger, smaller creatures.
Right.
And even then, I think the +2 is enough of a bonus to have them still go after that flanking. But I also, if it's against that size restraint more than the +2 limitation, I usually keep it to advantage because advantage is more useful than a +2. But yeah, I don't give flanking on giant creatures.
Like a toolkit kind of thing, thinking.
Yeah.
Getting the shit stomped out of them.
Right, but if they're up against one thing, them having flanking is always going to happen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Which,
yeah.
Any advice for a person who may be appearing in a live stream, i.e. they NERBs?
Oh. Well, first off, congratulations. If you haven't been in one before, that's awesome. I would say just know your character. Not necessarily like their voice and what they're going to sound like, because that is something you can't control. That just happens to you when you start talking for the first time. Parker and me both didn't know what we were going to sound like until we talked. Fully. No one on stream knows what their character is going to sound like if you have a voice until you speak for the first time, because those nerves are going to affect that voice, and you can't go back. There's no going back.
Then you spend the next couple of episodes before the episode going, what did I sound like?
Yeah, you watch the old episode, you're like, oh, I went with that? All right, fine. Yeah, but I would say definitely don't worry about it as much as you think you should. Don't focus on like getting the voice down. Just focus on like, what your abilities really are. Because one of the things with the stream is you don't want to take up a bunch of times reading through the book. You want to know what you're doing on your turn so you can keep the show moving. Try not to talk over your fellow castmates. Try and be respectful of the delay and the amount that everyone can hear you speak, because it's limited access coming through those headphones for people listening on the other side. If you hear someone else talk and it doesn't sound like they're backing down, then you back down.
Very good advice.
What is your biggest piece of advice for new DMs?
I don't know. I don't think there's any one big secret piece of advice that they need. I would say steal. That's what me and Josh talk about on our podcast a little bit. Mm-hmm. Just, you don't have to know everything. You just have to know enough. So if you want to steal from places, or if you come up against a brick wall that you didn't expect them to go looking at, fill it with something that you steal. Like Josh with his Arnold and Palmer guard names, or his Clyde and Dale horse names.
Yeah, just yoinked them off of existing things.
You just steal them from stuff. Practice improv. I would say if you have access to an improv class and you want to be a dungeon master, take that improv class. That will fully help you. Just being able to think on your feet. And I think my biggest piece of advice that I learned as I went is you can just put something in front of your party. If there's a blank space they're in, just put something in front of them, have it be mysterious, and then come up with what it is later. I do that all the time.
Nice.
Yeah.
So we are close to the end of our stream. We have a couple questions left.
Sure, go for it.
We'll try and get through those. Can you introduce your Bones character and how you came up with him?
For those of you who don't know, his name is Kevin.
I love Kevin.
Kevin is something that's called a burbalang. If anyone wants to look at that up, I'm pretty sure it's in the Mordenkainen's Tome of Foes. Essentially what he is me flipping through the monster manual saying, what would be cool? I wonder what would be, that thing looks interesting. And then I looked at what it can do. And then I started coming up with, again, where all my characters start is the voice. I just started talking to myself in the car one day and I just went, bones, bones, bones. And then I just kept doing that. And then my girlfriend heard me do it and she thought it was interesting.
That is who asked the question.
And then I basically just thought, okay, what if this thing is just crazy? And it only really has these bones to talk to. Because they can cast Speak with Dead at will. It just talks to these bones it collects all day. So it doesn't really have good communication skills. It's a little bit deranged and insane. And it is a very useful creature. Something that can talk with the dead nonstop is very useful. So the party has a reason to keep going back to this NPC. So you want it to be an interesting thing that they enjoy going back to. Also, it's just fun. It's just fun and creepy.
Kevin is fantastic.
I love him. I'm a good boy. He looks scary, but he's not. He's harmless.
I love him. Our last question. What is your favorite multi-class? That was a Martin question.
That's a bait,
Of
Martin.
course it was.
Martin, that's
That
a
was
bait.
That was a bait. It's a bait, Martin. Come on, man.
I just
I
work
do
here.
have an answer. There's only one that I actually enjoy. Actually, there are two that I kind of enjoy. One of them is more of a meme that I made up when I was playing before the stream. But one of them is that bear druid I was talking about, that barbarian druid. It's such a good class. Take 3 levels of barbarian and all the rest druid of the moon. I think that's one of the best classes. The other one is a Tabaxi rogue druid who is a cat burglar. Who literally turns into cats and like sneaks into people's houses, or like turns into their cats if they catch him in their house, or like, you know, uses animals and druid magic to steal things from people.
What you're saying is multi-class is good for memes.
It's good for memes, or if you want to be the world's strongest tank.
Fair.
Yeah.
10 out of 10.
10
All right.
out of 10, 12 out of 10.
We're at our 8 o'clock 1 hour mark.
Oh, that's it?
Does everybody? I know.
Let me ask you guys questions.
Does everybody?
Yeah.
Didn't that happen last time? How's everybody's painting going? This is
Oh my
usually what
gosh.
Josh does.
This is usually my job, and I've been so focused on painting Caitlin and listening to Sean's beautiful, beautiful voice.
My
that I've been quiet.
Tomra.
Ugh. I'm doing good. She's got all her base colors down. I need a new coat, I think, on the green. But she's
There you go.
She's doing
Pretty good.
well.
Yeah.
And then she'll go shades. She'll look good.
It's amazing.
Parker, what about you? They've
I-
best for last.
Wow, last for least. Wow.
I was having word problems. Don't
Fire from your phones.
quiet you.
Okay, I painted 2 wings. I'm actually really proud of it, but look,
Oh, the code is very clean. Well done.
Wow.
Beautiful.
I did lots of like detail stuff. I did
Awesome.
I did like shading and things.
Well,
That's fantastic.
there's nothing left to teach Parker. Parker is the master now.
That's not true. Just don't look at my paint jobs too close.
All right, Sean.
Your turn,
what you got?
Sean.
What you got?
I got
Sean?
all my base colors done too.
Yeah. Oh my god.
It's all red, and you can see right there I used some red for the back.
That's a cool mini.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
a bold
and then-
choice.
Yeah, there's a lot of red tones and red. I don't know if you can notice that. You see I got it literally all over my hands.
Yeah. Valid.
I have to start painting in a different color, but that is for a different day.
Different
In a
color
couple
for a
months when you
different-
pick it back up.
I gotta make sure I have some red paint left for the next red thing I want to paint.
Fair.
Well, with that, my friends, thank you, Sean, for coming and
No
hanging out
problem.
with us. And
Thanks for
being
having me.
beautiful me.
It's a delightful show. Love the program.
Yeah, it was really good to have you here.
Huge fan.
Yeah, that.
I can't wait for the Highlight Heroes merch, which you haven't started making yet.
Yeah, I haven't.
I'm not blaming you. I'm just saying we don't have any Highlight Heroes merch, and it makes me sad. So I'd buy it.
Sean
buy
only
it.
agreed to come on the show so he could tell us to make.
So I could plug the merch they don't have yet.
Yes,
Yeah.
good.
Coming
excited.
soon to a store online. See, now you have to do it.
Oh my god. All right, everybody, you are the best, and we will talk to you all soon. Check us out for Rolling Tides on Friday. Woo!
Bye, guys.
It's red!